Hello, students. Welcome back to class. Can you do that? Hello, students. Can you do that? I'm sure you can. Welcome back to class. We're on page 95, lesson number 6, conversation again. So, we have Melissa and Chuck in the conversation. And so, conversation. Where did you grow up, Chuck? I grew up in Texas. I was born there too. And when did you come to Los Angeles? In 1985, I went to college here. Oh, what was your major? Drama. I was an actor for 5 years after college. That's interesting. So why did you become a hairstylist? Because I needed the money, and I love it. Look, what do you think? All right, and so Melissa is asking Chuck, where did you grow up? Okay, so 2 questions. Where were you born? I was born in Texas. Where did you grow up? I grew up in Texas. And so born means the place that you were born. Grow up or grew up means the place where you tomlaung, you became older and older. So for example, a person might say, I was born in Takao province, but I grew up in Phnom Penh. I was born in India, but I grew up in the United States. And so it means you were born in one place, and maybe you got bigger and bigger and older in the same place or another place. These are very good questions that you can ask someone. Where were you born? Where were you born? Where did you grow up? Were and did. But man, where were you grow up, or where were you grew up? Where did you grow up? And you can also say another one, where were you raised? Raised means chincham. Actually, we raise chickens, we raise ducks, we raise fish, chincham, trai, chimcham, churu. And so it means to take care of. Where did you get bigger and bigger, and where did your parents take care of you? And so it really means probably the place where you lived as a child. I was raised in. So I was born in Battambang province. I grew up in Battambang province. I was raised in Battambang province. All of these are past tense. Grew up, born, raised. Where were you raised? Okay, where were you born? Where did you grow up? Where were you raised? Let's look at this conversation again. Where did you grow up, Chuck? So she asked the questions, where did you grow? She used the present tense. She used past tense did, but present tense grow. Where did you grow up? And Chuck answers using the past tense. I grew up in Texas. I was born. And so Melissa begins her question with a past tense word, did. But she uses grow up, the present tense. But when Chuck answers, he answers all in past tense. I grew up in Texas. I was born there too. And then she said, when? When is a past tense time word. When did you come to Los Angeles? Okay, she used the word did again, and she used the present tense come. She did not say, when did you came? And so, are you learning something? Did is a past tense question word, past tense action word, as you'll see. Did is a past tense action word you can use with a present tense verb. But when you answer, you must answer in the past tense. So she says, and when did you come to Los Angeles? in 1985. I went to college here. That means right now, Melissa and Chuck are in Los Angeles, so because he said here, not there. Here in Los Angeles. Oh, I went to college here. And by the way, college would be like Mahavichalai. In the United States, we can say university, which means a 4-year university, but we can also say college. College is sometimes a 2-year university. And she said, oh, what was your major? What was your major means what was the subject that you were studying? And so we'll see this in another lesson, in our word power lesson. My major was psychology. My major was mathematics. My major was English. And so it was what is the main subject that you were studying we call the major. A major and minor. Major means big, minor means small. And so my major was languages. My minor was sociology. And so you have a main subject that you're studying, and perhaps you have another subject, but it's not the main one. And so we call it the minor. So, oh, what was your major? Drama. He answers with one word. When did you come to Los Angeles? He answers with one word, in 1985. What was your major? Drama. But he adds more information. This is important. In many conversations, don't just answer with one word, but give more information, all right? And so drama, I was, and then he gives more information. I was, past tense, an actor for 5 years. 5 is a plural number, and so years must have the S and sound the S. 5 years after college. That's interesting. That is interesting, but we never say that is interesting. We always use the contraction, that's interesting. And we do not say that interesting. No, no. That's interesting. So why did you become a hairstylist? Because I needed the money. It means he was working as an actor for 5 years, but he didn't make enough money to support himself as an actor, and so he became a hairstylist. I needed the money, past tense, and I love it. Then he says, look, what do you think? He means look at your hair in the mirror. What do you think? All right? And so say this after me. You read the conversation after me. Say it the same as me. Where did Chuck grow up? I'm sorry. Where did you grow up, Chuck? Where did you grow up, Chuck? I grew up in Texas. I was born there too. And when did you come to Los Angeles? In 1985. I went to college here. Oh, what was your major? Drama. I was an actor for 5 years after college. That's interesting. So why did you become a hairstylist? Because I needed the money. And I love it. Look, what do you think? All right, and so your assignment is to read this conversation, listen to me, read it, and then you say it, record your voice. Record your voice, listen to yourself, and compare it with me. That's how you improve. Sipel charan, mantai chui charan. Sipel charan. Sipel charan. Chiso pisat mai. Mapilo kru Charles. It takes time, but it brings much benefit to you. It helps you to improve. And so you say it, record your voice, listen to you say it, and then listen to me say it. Do you say it the same as me? If you don't say it the same as me, practice again and again, and then record your voice, send it to me, and then I will tell you. what you need to do, if it's perfect, if it's good, if it's fantastic, or if there's some small changes that you need to make. Let me just show you another slide. Verbs that show action in the mind and verbs that show action in the body. You know, a verb shows action, but sometimes the action is in our mind, and other times the action is in our body. So, for example, mind action verbs. Think. When you think, you don't show action in your body, you show action in your mind, but think is a verb. Love. You don't show the action with your body, sometimes you do, but you feel. Love is a feeling. And so it's a feeling in your mind. The same with want. I want to eat rice. And so it's a desire. It's a feeling that you have in your mind. But it's a verb. And so love and be, also be. So we're talking about the to be verbs. To be is something in your mind. Is something in your mind. It is cold. Okay? It's not an action of your body, but it's an action of your thinking. And it's the same with past tense, was and were. But then there are body action words like run, talk, sit, eat, laugh, sleep, do, and did. Okay, these are body actions. When you do something, you change come up. Okay, when you do something, you make an action of your body. When did you come to Los Angeles? So did is in action. And so he left Texas and he came to California. And so did is an action of the body. Did you do your homework? And so do is an action of the body. But was and is and be or was, is, are, these are actions of the mind. Actions of the emotions, actions of the self on the inside of you. But do and did are actions on the outside of you. And so look at this slide. We use was and were if you're talking about the verb to be. And we use did for all other verbs in the past tense when you're using them in the negative or a question form. And so we use was, this is past tense, was and were when you're using the to be verb. He was, she was, but did you use for all other words. Did you eat breakfast yet? We did not say was you eat, because remember, did is a past tense action. Did you eat breakfast? But was is a state of being. Was he at school yesterday? Was is an action of being. Was his presence there? But did is an action. All right? And so there's much more that we can say about did and do, and we will talk more about it. But for right now, all I want you to do, read the conversation. On page 95, read the conversation back to me and let me hear you say and speak very good, clear American English. All right? See you in the next lesson after you finish your homework.